Good morning, Wright State University, and welcome to the Wright Morning Show on WWSU. Start your day the right way with us. We will be covering current events in the news, local, national, and from Wright State. We will provide a daily dose of inspiration and positivity to lighten your day. And we will have a special feature depending on the day of the week. So grab your tea or your coffee, sit back, relax, and enjoy the Wright Morning Show. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's edition of the Wright Morning Show on WWSU 106.9 FM. I'm your host, Triple P. It is Friday, September 24th, 2021. TGIF. And with me on the phone today is Harmony. How are you doing this morning?
TGIH. Thank God it's Harmony. Yeah. I am good. I am listening to the cat go crazy in the background.
So we might have some random meowing during today's show.
Yeah, because he wants to get his 2 cents in as well. But yeah, great day, beautiful day, nice sunny, cool weather, excellent day, loving it.
I was outside on my bicycle today and really loving how the sun was shining on the trees and everything like that. So it was nice.
Mm-hmm.
On Discord this morning, we got Laffy Chipmunk. How are you doing this morning?
Hi.
Hello, Laffy Chipmunk.
Hi.
And I got some news for both of you, and also for those of you who are listening on WWSU. Guess who's on the way to? Guess who's on the way to Ohio as we speak?
Biden.
No.
Oh God.
The Grinch.
Oh.
No.
Santa Claus.
No.
Who?
Chappelle.
K-Dean. The boogeyman.
K-Dean vibes, man. Yo.
He is
Can't
on.
wait.
Yeah. He is
Wait.
on his way back to Ohio. He hopes to be here in time to do his show tonight at 9 p.m. live from the studio. So.
Oh, that's going to be serious travel in there.
Yeah, when I talked to him an hour ago, he was in Knoxville, Tennessee. I'm not sure where he is now.
That's about maybe 6-7 hours.
Yeah, that's what I told him because he was asking.
He'll be rolling up probably right in time for the show.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into your current events for today from various different sources, such as WHIO, which is what we're going to start off with. A fire causes heavy damage to a Fairborn home. This time it was in Fairborn and not Dayton. Fairborn residents of a home on the 200 block of Holmes Drive will not be able to stay in their home tonight after a fire caused heavy damage. Fairborn Assistant Fire Chief Ryan Williams told News Center 7 that the fire started in the back of the house, and upon fire crew's arrival, all occupants had evacuated the home.
Oh.
Crews were able to stop the fire from spreading to neighborhood homes, but the fire did melt a portion of the siding of one neighboring house. The cause of the fire is under investigation. Oofies. Let's see here. From Springfield News Sun, a man was charged following a New Carlisle cornfield search. That's a very corny situation.
Just getting ready to say that.
A man who ran from deputies this week, sparking a search through a cornfield in New Carlisle, was arrested Thursday in Moorfield Township. Luke Anthony Adams, 30, was charged with receiving stolen property, improperly handling firearms in a motor vehicle, having weapons under disability and drug abuse, according to a release from the Clark County Sheriff's Office. Adams was found sitting in a Chevrolet Trailblazer at a fuel pump at the Speedway gas station located at 5050 Urbana Road on Thursday. This vehicle was stolen from Ellen Drive near the cornfield that Adams ran to, Clark County Sheriff's Office Magistrate Andy Reynolds told the News Sun. Interesting. You can read more at springfieldnewssun.com. Dayton Daily News says that Yellow Springs is making the internet a public utility. I unfortunately can't load Dayton Daily News articles, but I will talk to you a little bit about this because I remember talking about this on a previous show. Yellow Springs is working to establish their own local internet service provider for the Yellow Springs area, which is going to be really nice because since it's a local internet service provider, it's going to have low rates compared to other internet service providers, and they're planning to make it a public utility, just like your water, your gas, and your electric. So their goal is to bring internet access to those who need it in the Yellow Springs community, especially with the COVID pandemic going on. So I think that's pretty cool. From Sunny 95, Dayton is to demolish the Wright brothers' decaying first bike shop.
What?
Yeah, the city of Dayton plans to demolish the 129-year-old historic building that once was the site of the Wright brothers' first bike shop because the building has deteriorated and is unable to be maintained and redeveloped.
Wow.
The Dayton Daily News reports years after a wide array of owners, the city attempted to sell the rundown property to developers, but it failed inspection tests. The building was deemed structurally damaged and in danger of collapse. Multiple inspections in 2019 concluded that the building cannot be saved. City staff and nuisance abatement specialists say the building needs to be removed. That's unfortunate because that's a very historic part of Dayton. But
well, I guess after 129 years, you got to do something.
Yeah. From WDTN, this one is a fairly recent article, 3 hours ago. 3 people are hurt after a crash in Dayton this morning. The Montgomery County Regional Dispatch said that the crash happened at 1:41 a.m. on Germantown Street at Oldfield Avenue. Traffic was diverted after the crash, and the scene was taped off. 2 news crews at the scene said one car was off of the side of the road. The conditions of the victims are not known. It is not clear how many vehicles were involved. 2 News will update the story as they learn more. There is a sushi bar and lounge that is opening in downtown Dayton. That sounds pretty cool. You can read more at Dayton Daily News. Here are 5 Miami Valley events you should check out this weekend, according to Dayton.com. First, we have Tip City Mum Festival from September 24th to September 26th. The 62nd annual festival is the perfect place to stock up on gorgeous fall mums, orange and white pumpkins, and fall gourds from local vendors. Tip City is known as the mum capital of the world, after all.
Oh, wow.
Aside from plenty of mum offerings, the Tip City Mum Festival also hosts a car show, 5K, parade, and other entertainment. It will be Saturday, September 25th from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Oh, I'm sorry, that's a different event. It's the Mum Festival is today through Sunday at City Park and other locations throughout downtown Tip City. Next, we have the Lebanon Feast and Folly on Saturday, September 25th from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. at Mulberry Street Plaza near East Mulberry and North Mechanic Streets in downtown Lebanon. This year's event will feature food trucks, a wine garden, custom charcuterie boards, live music, and a unique blend of vendors selling custom products with a fall theme. Also expect a family fun zone sponsored by the Lebanon Food Pantry with art, games, crafts, a community mural, and activities for families of all sizes. There's the Dayton Art Institute Oktoberfest from Friday to Sunday at 456 Belmonte Park in North Dayton.
Oh, wow.
The 50th anniversary celebration of German culture and food will take place over the course of the weekend. The beloved event features German-inspired food, beer, wine, live entertainment, vendors, and other unique treats.
Watch out for the beer. make sure you eat before you drink.
And
it's very high content.
And there's an event happening right here at Wright State University. It's the Wright State University's Festival of Flight, and that's happening tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 7:30 p.m., Lot 1 at Wright State University in Fairborn. Wright State is preparing to celebrate the area's rich aviation history with its second annual Festival of Flight. The event will be chock full of hands-on aviation-related activities, live entertainment, food vendors, and more. Those who are especially interested in the area's aviation history will get a kick out of the world premiere of A Journey Through the Birthplace of Aviation, followed by a panel of National Aviation Heritage Area members. Michelle Rouche will be at the event, signing copies of her new book, Astronaut AI Travels to the Moon. That's interesting. To get a glimpse of where the Wright brothers built and practiced their flyers, the National Park Service will offer guided tours of Huffman Prairie. Hands-on activities will also be available at the Innovation and Education Hangar and McAir Aero Club Formation Flying Group, who will do flyovers throughout the event. And finally, National Alpaca Farm Days. Saturday, September 25th from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Sunday, September 26th from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. This will be at Holdfast Alpaca Farms, 12026 Lower Valley Pike, Bethel Township. Holdfast Alpaca Farms will be holding its 15th annual National Alpaca Farm Day. Guests will be able to meet the alpacas, go on hay rides, get their faces painted, and enjoy the food truck and other vendors. So, get out there and enjoy some fall festivities. Which, by the way, fall was on September 22nd. It was this Wednesday. I never mentioned that on the show. So, happy fall, everybody. And it certainly feels like it with this weather today, which we'll get it to your weather forecast in just a minute. From WHIO, U.S. Postal Service is hosting a job fair in Dayton. The North Dayton Post Office is hosting a job fair from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the post office at 1411 Far Drive. Positions include postal support employees, city carrier assistants, rural carrier associates, and mail handler associates. Starting salary is between $16.87 and $19.06 per hour, paid bi-weekly according to the release. You can read more at WHIO.com, so be sure to check that out. From WDTN, a crash leaves a hole in a home in Dayton. This also happened, this happened Thursday night. Montgomery County Regional Dispatch told 2 News that the crash happened just after 11:30 p.m. in the 1400 block of Valley Street. The road was closed for a short period of time after the crash. No injuries were reported, and what led up to the crash is under investigation. Link Dayton Bike Share is adding new stations. Be quiet, Dell. I don't need your notifications. Had a little notification chime come in. Apologies for that. Anyway, from Dayton.com, Dayton's Bike Share program will add 3 new bike stations at the University of Dayton, whose students account for a significant part of the program's ridership. UD's campus already has 5 bike hubs, but new ones will open at Fitz Hall, the Brooks Center, and at 1401 South Main Street. Link stations already are installed at Brown Street near Caldwell Apartments and the University Shops, Recplex, Roche Library, and Alumni Hall. You can read more at Dayton.com. All right, we're going to now get into your global and national news. But first, here is your weather forecast brought to you by Tomorrow.io and the National Weather Service. The current weather at Wright State University by Tomorrow.io is clear and 50 degrees. The wind is coming from the south-southwest at 6 miles per hour. The humidity is 76%. Dew point is 43 degrees. Visibility is good, and the air quality is moderate. Your 12-hour hyper-local forecast shows clear skies throughout the next 12 hours. Temperatures are going to approach 60 degrees by about 11:30 a.m., and then it's going to peak at about 68 degrees around 4 p.m. before it starts cooling back off. Here's your forecast from the National Weather Service at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. Today, sunny. Give me a moment here. Having a little bit of trouble loading the webpage. It's running slow today. There we go. Sunny, high in the lower 70s. Tonight, increasing clouds, low in the lower 50s. Saturday, showers are likely with a high around 70. Saturday night, mostly clear, low in the upper 40s. Sunday, sunny, high in the lower 70s. Sunday night, mostly clear, low in the mid 50s. Monday, mostly sunny, high around 80. Monday night, partly cloudy, low in the upper 50s. And Tuesday, mostly sunny, high around 80. All right, let's get into your local and national news. Here are your headlines from the New York Times. So first off, Germany after Merkel. American voters tend to lead change. It's rare for either major political party to hold the White House for more than 2 straight terms, and the president's party often struggles in midterm elections. Politics in Germany, which is voting on Sunday, is different. Many German voters prefer stability. Angela Merkel, 67, who had been chancellor since 2005, is retiring, and both of the leading candidates to succeed her are trying to persuade voters that he is a stable option who will continue many of her policies. Still, Merkel's departure sets up a choice for voters: whether Germany, the European Union's most powerful country, continues to be run by a center-right leader, or will have its second center-left leader since the early 1980s. The voters' choice will shape Germany's policies and, by extension, Europe's on the social safety net, taxes, innovation, and climate change. Dr. Rochelle Walensky, the CDC director, overruled her agency's advice and endorsed boosters for people in risky jobs. The Education Department will reimburse a school district after Florida withheld funding over its mask mandate. A new EPA rule will cut use of a category of planet-warming chemicals, hydrofluorocarbons, in air conditioners and refrigerators. The Congressional Committee investigating the January 6th Capitol attack issued its first subpoena to 4 close advisors to Donald Trump. Under pressure from Trump, Texas announced an audit of the 2020 election in 4 counties. A Republican-ordered review in Arizona's biggest county slightly widened Biden's margin of victory. A senior U.S. diplomat for Haiti quit, signing deportations by the Biden administration. U.S. is also letting thousands of Haitians stay. The House overwhelmingly approved a $1 billion funding bill for Israel's Iron Dome missile defense system. Since the death of their leader, thousands of Boko Haram fighters and family members have defected. The Times spoke to several of them, and there is an article about that if you want to check that out on the Times. New York City is on the verge of setting minimum pay and improving conditions for food delivery workers. Chris Cuomo's former boss at ABC News writes that Cuomo sexually harassed her in 2005. Cuomo said that the incident was not sexual in nature and that he had apologized. A gunman killed 1 person at a Kroger supermarket in Tennessee. Oof. Insuring large waterfront properties in the U.S. is about to get more expensive. And finally, footprints show that humans lived in the southwestern U.S. about 10,000 years earlier than scientists thought. Interesting.
No surprise.
All right, from Cheddar Need to Know. From NPR, the director of the CDC has overruled her own advisors to endorse booster shots for people whose jobs put them at high risk of contracting COVID. The surprise overnight decision from Dr. Rochelle Walensky came after the CDC's advisory panel gave the green light to Pfizer boosters for those 65 and up, as well as younger adults with underlying conditions. But it notably did not extend that to otherwise healthy frontline workers like teachers or nurses. Walensky's move puts the CDC in line with the FDA's recommendation and means the White House booster campaign can start as early as today. From Commercial Appeal, a suburban Tennessee grocery store was the scene of a country's last mass shooting. A gunman walked into a Kroger in the Memphis suburb of Collierville on Thursday and opened fire, killing one woman and injuring at least 12 others. Officials have not released the victims' identities. Police say the gunman, who has also not been identified, was found dead in the back of the store of an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. A bystander told reporters that police arrived within minutes and swarmed the supermarket. From CNN, the House easily passed a bill to provide $1 billion for Israel's Iron Dome aerial defense system after it was removed from a separate piece of legislation meant to prevent a government shutdown. A handful of progressive Democrats have threatened to sink that bill unless the Iron Dome funds were taken out. The final vote was 420 to 9. 420.
Nice number.
With 2 voting present. 8 Democrats and 1 Republican voted against it. The funding bill goes to the Senate where it's expected to pass. From CBS 8, there are currently more than 60 huge container ships lined up off of the coast of Southern California, waiting to unload their cargo at the state's overloaded ports. Those ports handle 40% of the country's imported goods, but even if they were running at full capacity, there still aren't enough truck drivers to get the goods to the final destinations. The head of the port of LA is warning people to be prepared to see bare shelves for some time and to start their holiday shopping now. From Cheddar, the European Union has announced a plan to require consumer electronic companies to adopt a uniform charging method for smartphones and other mobile devices. The rules call for manufacturers to use USB-C ports and chargers for everything. Most already do, with one major exception. I bet you can guess who that is. It begins with A, and it's a fruit.
No.
Apple, apple, apple.
There's a worm in that apple.
The iPhone maker has come out against the common charger law, of course, saying it stifles innovation. But because of how complex it would be to make different ports for devices sold in the EU, there's a good chance Apple would be forced to make the switch within the next 2 years when the ruling goes into effect. Hopefully we don't have to deal with these ever-changing chargers every year from Apple now, thanks to the European Union's USB-C mandate.
Yes, unfortunately, I'm an Apple user, so find out.
From NPR, Boppy, the maker of popular infant pillows, is recalling 3.3 million of their newborn loungers after the product was linked to 8 infant deaths. Federal regulators say the infants who died had suffocated after being found on their side or their stomach. Boppy says the lounger was never intended to be an infant sleep product and came with warnings against unsupervised use. From The Cut, Linda Evangelista, one of the so-called original supermodels of the early 90s, is suing the maker of a popular cosmetic procedure after claiming the treatment left her permanently deformed. Cool Sculpting is an FDA-approved fat removal process that freezes fat cells and lets them absorb into the body so they can be expelled. It's commonly marketed as a non-invasive alternative to liposuction. But Evangelista says she developed a rare side effect in which new fat cells replaced the frozen ones, which made her brutally disfigured and unable to work. All right, well, that concludes today's current events. So we're going to go ahead and take a break on the Wright Morning Show. When we come back, we're going to get into your daily dose of inspiration. Today, we're going to be talking about how to live an uncluttered life. So be sure to stick around for that. You're listening to the Wright Morning Show on WWSU 106.9 FM.
Hey, everyone. Check out Rush Week 2020.
back to the Wright Morning Show on WWSU 106.9 FM. Welcome back to the Wright Morning Show on WWSU 106.9 FM. It's time to get into our daily dose of inspiration. Today we're going to be using becomingminimalist.com. 5 steps to an unburdened life. I think I misread that as unclutter life, but the author is Ali Kasaza, the author of Declutter Like a Mother. So we will be talking a little bit about decluttering your life as well, but this kind of goes beyond that. All right, so if you've ever watched the reality show Hoarders, you probably wouldn't question that the owners of these homes have real inner issues that have manifested in their physical spaces. Their homes are chaotic because their inner world is a turmoil, and vice versa, their inner world is in turmoil because their homes are chaotic. I'm not pointing fingers in pity or disgust because less than 10 years ago, my own world was in a constant state of chaos. My home wasn't necessarily hoarder level, but it was overwhelming. I was overwhelmed. Unnecessary and even useless items filled our home, and I didn't have the mental clarity to sort through the clutter. This mess led me to feel even more anxiety, which led me to allow more things to take up space in my home, which led me to feel even more stressed out. It was an endless cycle. I was barely a fraction of the woman I knew I could be. I wanted to live without the burden of physical and mental clutter. I wanted to have the white space in my home, calendar, and mind to pursue my dreams, passions, and goals. It was figuring out how to do that kept tripping me up. I didn't give up, though. I figured it out. And today I'm living life unburdened by mental and physical clutter. And I've built a business teaching other women how to do the same. One of the biggest weapons against overwhelm in your life is to declutter not only your physical space, but what weighs heavy in your life. Clutter can be physical items. It can also be metaphorical. It can show up in your calendar, your mind, or even your heart. How you are with one thing is how you are with everything. So it makes sense that when we have clutter in one space, it echoes in the others. But how do we get rid of that clutter, both physical and metaphorical? Maya Angelou famously said, "Do the best you can until you know better. Then, when you know better, do better." I believe knowledge is power, so in the spirit of self-empowerment, allow me to give you 5 steps to move you from overwhelmed to unburdened. But before we get into those steps, I'm going to turn the mic over to Harmony and Laughing Chipmunk and ask you, can you relate to having a very cluttered personal space and getting into the cycle of clutter in your home, clutter in your life, clutter in your home, and back and forth?
Oh, yeah. Oh, Pat, you know that.
Yeah.
You know that answer.
Yeah. And I still know that a little bit, but at least the cats enjoy the boxes that you have laying around.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, we do clear out the boxes, but we leave maybe like 1 or 2 empty boxes around, just so they can, hop in there and play around and stuff. And then after they scratch them all to death, then we throw them out.
Yeah. It's funny when you leave those Powerade boxes out and they'll still have Powerades in them, but one of the cats will manage to squeeze themselves in there.
Oh, Sunshine is notorious for doing that. She'll squeeze her little fat belly in there, and I mean, it's true. If it fits, I sit. So she makes it fit.
As they say, cats are one of the most versatile liquids in the United States, in the world.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, true.
That's funny.
True.
Oh gosh. All right. How about you, Harmony?
That I can't relate to clutter, honestly. Maybe in other areas of my life, being maybe accused of having a a cluttered mind at times,
Mm-hmm.
which I have to straighten out. But when it comes to my living space, even the small things could be cluttered to me. I grew up with an obsessive-compulsive grandmother
Mm-hmm.
who liked everything neat and orderly. So a pair of pants over your chair, shoes underneath the chair, and an unmade bed was really capital for her. It's just like,
Ooh.
why is your bed not made? Because I'm going to sleep in it later. So, but yeah, my living space has always pretty much been in a state of some semblance of organization. Well, except for my dining room table, which Triple P definitely knows about.
Mm-hmm.
But it's getting better here and there. Other than that, I think the cluttered mind for me sometimes is the biggest thing to hurdle.
Yeah. For me, it's more or less not necessarily hoarding, but kind of the opposite, where like I feel uneasy because I have more than what I really want, and I want to get rid of some of the stuff that I have. So interesting. All
Yeah.
right, we're gonna go ahead and get into those 5 steps that move you from overwhelmed to unburdened. The obvious one: clear the clutter. Clutter is simply unmade decisions. When you look at it like that, it can seem kind of silly that you have so much stuff taking up your space in your home. You make hundreds of decisions every single day. You should be a pro at this, right? Well, yes and no. Decisions can be conscious or unconscious. And most of the time, we live life on autopilot, not even really thinking about the decisions that we're making. But when we're not aware of our choices, it can cause us to lack the confidence we need to decide whether we want to keep Great Aunt Ida's hand painted vase, the kind we hate, for future generations, or if we want to give it away to someone who would cherish it more than we will. On the other hand, when we make conscious decisions all day long, that can lead to decision fatigue. Decision fatigue is an actual scientific condition where your brain is so tired from choosing all day that it cannot make another quality decision. So, what do? Start in the bathroom. That room is usually full of easy yes or no items. Set a timer for 30 minutes. Go in there and start sorting. As you make more of these easy decisions, you'll gain the confidence you need to move on to more significant items. Number 2, rewrite limiting beliefs. A limiting belief is exactly what it sounds like, a belief that limits you and keeps you from moving forward in life. If you think there isn't enough to go around, you will live out that thought. You will hoard your possessions, time, and energy out of fear that you won't have it or have what you need when you need it. But if you rewrite that thought and you live out of the belief that there is more than enough, you will live a life of generosity toward yourself and others. Limiting beliefs don't have to keep you stuck. You can rewrite them. Remember, you are in control of your thoughts and your beliefs. If you don't like something, you can change it. Unless if it's a person. I'm just going to add that on there. You can't change people.
You can't change people, but you can change your thought
You can
about
change
that
your
person.
thoughts. Yeah.
And you can make a choice in that direction to do whatever it is that you need to do for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Number 3, stop playing the victim and take ownership of your life.
Yeah.
Just because you are in charge of your thoughts, you are also in control of your life. If you live as if circumstances and situations are constantly happening to you, then you will continuously live as a victim. But you are more. You are an action taker and a problem solver. You are the CEO of your life. Does the CEO of a company react to every problem thrown her way? No, she responds. Instead of reacting, probably negatively, to all the balls that life throws at you, you need to live in response mode, ready to identify root problems and brain dump solutions. Number 4, live with intention. There's a proverb that says, where there is no vision, the people perish. I love it because it's rung so true in my life. If you don't have anywhere to go, you won't go anywhere at all. I have a simple little question that I ask myself whenever I want to figure out what it is I want from life, whether it is in my marriage, my motherhood, my career, from my body. And that question is, wouldn't it be cool if, wouldn't it be cool if I had my own business? Wouldn't it be cool if I had another baby? Wouldn't it be cool if we moved across the country? Wouldn't it be cool if I went totally plant based in my diet? I'm going to pause there. Leffy Chipmunk Harmony, what kind of wouldn't it be cool if questions would you ask yourselves?
I'm going to let her answer that first.
Leffy Chipmunk.
I don't know. A lot of times I'm like, okay, wouldn't it be cool if I could have a time machine and go back and visit past times, as long as I can come back here, but yeah, a lot of times I'm like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if I had a time machine and I can go back to this year and that year and take Pat with me and
Well, guess what? Guess what? You do have a time machine. You know what it's called?
Your brain.
What?
Well, but home videotapes.
Yeah, which I still have, actually. Yeah. Those are keepers.
Very much so. But yeah, I could see that. And especially like historical moments in time. Like,
Oh yeah.
don't you wish that you could take your children to a point in time where they weren't around yet, but you were, and it was like a very historic and very cool time?
Oh yeah.
All right, what about you, Harmony?
Wouldn't it be cool if I could go to Sicily, Italy, and see where my great-grandmother grew up and what she saw during her lifetime?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be cool if I could have kind of lived back then to see what things were like before the whole electricity, TV, and all that concept?
Well, I know there's like, I don't know what they're called, but I know there's like exhibits or something like that at I don't know if they're museums or what, but basically they have places where you can kind of experience that.
Oh yeah, that's true. I don't know. I think sometimes too, wouldn't it be cool if we could just go anywhere at any time? Just pick up and do whatever you want to do and have enough money to do it all.
Yeah,
and then, of course,
that's for sure.
The usual things of, drop some weight and make sure it stays off. But other than that, yeah, I think the travel thing for me would be cool. Wouldn't it be cool if I could travel anywhere I wanted to at any time and not have to worry about the money?
Yeah. I think for me, wouldn't it be cool if I moved on to a big boy radio station after here? Not a corporate radio station, mind you. I don't want to work at a corporate entity, like none of those iHeart stations or anything like that. But wouldn't it be cool if I worked at a radio station, like a local radio station that actually served its community?
Like WYSO?
Yeah, like no, seriously, like WYSO.
Yeah, because they're really good. They're good.
Play around with that question and see where it leads you. See what vision it gives you for your future, and then start brainstorming how you could turn your vision into your reality. And the final step, set boundaries. If we don't learn to set boundaries, we're only hurting ourselves.
Amen.
Sorry, go ahead.
I said amen.
Saying no can be hard, but it is a gift to yourself and to the people who mean the most to you. Protecting your time, energy, space, and mental health is not selfish. Bitterly living your life obligated to other people and activities is selfish, because you cannot give your best self to the world. It's not easy, but you can do hard things. Set boundaries around your time and your energy. Put them in your relationships. Set them in your calendar. Learn to say no to certain things so you could say yes to the most important things. And that is written by Ali Kasaza, who is on a mission to eradicate the hot mess mom stereotype by empowering other women. She is the author of the new book, Declutter Like a Mother. She is also the host of the Purpose Show podcast.
Nice.
Interesting.
Good stuff.
All right. Any final thoughts on the inspiration of the day?
Just that I feel like it's something we all should do in our lives because so many of us live in cluttered circumstances, whether it be our physical, spaces, mental spaces, but take some time out and see where you're coming from. I feel like it's the biggest and best thing to do, but other than that, that's my spin.
All right. Lyfic Jimmuck, do you have any final thoughts?
Really?
All
Sorry.
right. We're going to go ahead and take a break. And when we come back, it's Freaky Friday. So, not entirely sure what we're going to do. I'm going to throw in a few weird news stories in there. So, we'll see what happens, see what we do. I'm thinking maybe I'll do a Would You Rather today as well.
Nice.
So, we'll have a little fun with that. You're listening to the Rat Morning Show on WWSU 106.9 FM. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. To the Right Morning Show on WWSU 106.9 FM. Welcome back to the Right Morning Show on WWSU 106.9 FM. We're going to go ahead and get into our Freaky Friday segment. So, let's see here. If we could get into some weird news stories here. I'm trying to load a weird news story, but that website has so many freaking advertisements that the web browser wants to freeze up.
Mm.
Okay, an old man journey to document the strangest McDonald's in the world.
Oh, wow.
Finding a purpose in life is tough. For Max Krager, it was simple. Find and document the most unusual McDonald's locations of the world. A game designer by day, Krager, 28, has spent the past year and a half scouring the internet for photos of unusually themed McDonald's locations and posting them to Twitter. His project is called Non-Standard McDonald's, and it celebrates the ec- eccentricity of themed locations.
McWeird.
Many of them have demolished or remodeled, like the UFO-shaped McDonald's in England.
Wow.
Okay.
But few still exist in their glory, like the Gothic Cellar McDonald's in Poland.
Ooh. Nice.
Or the Fry and Shake monstrosity in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Next year, Krager plans to take his project to the real world. He's visiting 12 non-standard McDonald's in Florida
Oh, my God.
with the film crew to tell their stories. The preservation, creation, and exactly why they are so appealing. He's visiting both active, still funky, and deceased remodeled locations. His documentary project is unaffiliated with McDonald's, and to thwart legal trouble, Krager is making it completely free. I think if they are going to cease and desist me, they would have done it already, Krager said.
Free publicity for them, you know, what they got to worry about. Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing to worry about on their end in that case.
They're just going to get more people to be drawn to that location to see the craziness.
Exactly. Like, now that I read that, I want to see what that Gothic Cellar McDonald's looks like.
That would be very interesting.
Yeah, me too.
Let's see here. Catastrophe averted as fans catch a falling feline using a flag at American football game.
Oh, God.
A cat has been saved by fans at an American football game in Miami after it plunged about 30 feet from an upper deck of the Hard Rock Stadium.
Ooh.
Video footage showed the black and white feline apparently clinging by its claws to fabric on the front of the deck after it got stuck during the first quarter of Saturday's college game between number 22 Miami and the Appalachian State. It fell about 9 meters to the lower level of the stadium, where fans used an American flag as a makeshift net to safely catch
it. That's so cute. Poor kitty.
They were trying to grab it from above and they couldn't reach it, but they were scaring it downward, said Craig Cromer, a facilities manager at the University of Miami and season ticket holder who, with his wife Kimberly, brings the flag to each home game. It hung there for a little while with its two front paws, then one paw, and then I was like, oh my goodness, it's coming soon. Mr. Cromer unhooked the flag from the railing, and the cat fell into it and was secured by the crowd before being taken away by stadium security workers. Miami coach Manny Diaz, whose team won 25-23, said he found out about the incident after the game and said, I don't know anything about that or what's going on, but I'll tell you, if the cat will help us in our red zone offense, I'm going to see if we can give it a scholarship.
Nice.
Oh, that's funny. That was a funny response. I like that.
That's cute.
Giving the cat a scholarship. Let's see here. See if we can find other weird news stories here. So a lot of these places, a lot of these websites have a crap ton of ads. Let's see, a UFO. Let's see how old this article was. Oh, this was this was posted today. A mysterious black-colored craft was spotted being transported inside a top-secret U.S. military testing site. Its aerodynamic design sparked comparisons to flying saucers. Video showing a flying saucer-shaped craft being towed to a U.S. military base has sent the conspiracy world into meltdown. The video, originally uploaded on TikTok, shows a truck towing a flat-bodied disc with an aerodynamic shape in what appears to be a military development base in the U.S. What the beep is that? The cameraman said as he watches out of the world object passing in front of him. Internet sleuth Ruben Hoffs analyzed the clip and tracked down the location based on the scaffolding in the background and surrounding landscape. He wrote on Twitter, "Coincidentally, this morning I stumbled upon a very interesting TikTok video of an unknown shape on a flatbed trailer. The scaffolding in the background got my interest, and this appears to be the Helendale Radar Cross-Section Facility. This does not seem to resemble the so-called pole cap used for calibration purposes." The location he mentioned is near Lockheed Martin's Skunk Works headquarters at Plant 42 in Palmdale, California. Many airspace watchers shared their thoughts with it, saying it could be a secret weapon, and others suggested it was a prototype aircraft. One said, "Or it's just a sort of deceiving action by Skunk Works. Show something secret out in the open so everyone's discussing this and the real secrets are kept hidden." That's actually kind of smart if they did do that. A second wrote, "Looks like a supersonic combat drone model or another type of stealth combat drone. Looks a bit alien to me," a third confessed, and a fourth guessed it could be a demonstrator or test vehicles for the new B-21 Raiders. The U.S. Air Force recently announced 5 B-21 test aircraft are currently under construction during the State of the Forces address on September 20th. Frank Kendall, Secretary of the Air Force, said that 5 strategic stealth bomber aircraft were being manufactured. And we have Jeffrey outside of the studio. Jeffrey, I'm on the air right now. Do you want to say hi to everybody? Oh, microphone, so we could hear you. Do you have an announcement or something you wanted to share? Oh, okay. He has a question. Jeffrey, I'll be off the air in like 7 minutes. And then I'll get with you. Continuing on, Freaky Friday, Amazon has millions of Prime subscribers. Oh, that's a sponsored ad.
Oopsie.
We already knew that. All of these are sponsored, actually. So let's get it. Let's get out of there. We don't want sponsored ads. Let's go to Fox News and see what weird stories they have. North Carolina sisters say a stranger's body was in mom's casket after funeral home mix-up.
Oh my God! Oops.
2 sisters from North Carolina said they made a startling discovery earlier this month when they found...
Verizon is
No. We don't want to advertise that. Nope. 2 sisters from North Carolina said that they found a startling discovery earlier this month when they found a stranger's body inside the casket that was supposed to contain their mother, a report said. There's no similarity in the person, Janetta Archer, one of the sisters, said in an interview. Their size was way off. When the person had the clothing on, she was swimming in the clothes because she was so small compared to my mother. The sisters claim that Hunter's funeral home in Ahoskie, which is about 120 miles northeast of Raleigh, failed to acknowledge the issue and even denied that the person was someone else, Wavy TV reported.
Wow.
Their mom's body was eventually located in the embalming room.
Oh my God, she wasn't done.
Wow.
Lord.
Wow. It would have been a different situation if they had just come up front. Their home claimed that it reached out to the family to apologize, but the sisters said they never received the call. The incident reportedly occurred on September 7th. The sisters said they were perplexed that an error on such scale could happen. What do you do to prevent something like this from happening? Don't they have a chart per person and treat them like customers or patient whenever you want to refer them so that you don't have them mixed up?
That's a grave error.
Oh my gosh. Here we go. A couple road trips in converted hearse nicknamed the Grim Sleeper. Rather than take a car or an RV, the couple decided to road trip in a converted hearse.
Oh.
Hearse, or however you say that.
Hearse, yeah, no T.
Shannon Orr, 24, and Lane Cameron, 31, from Warrington, UK, drove across Scotland's North Coast 500 in their 1998 Volvo 960 Hearse with their 2 dogs, Billy and Peanut, according to SWNS. The hearse got the couple so much attention on their trip that they nicknamed it the Grim Sleeper. He even started an Instagram account for it, the news agency reported.
Funny.
Orr told SWNS she and Cameron were originally going to camp through the North Coast 500, but when they came across the advertisement for the hearse online, they changed their mind. We saw it on Facebook and had to get it because it was something neither of us has seen before, Orr told SWNS. According to SWNS, the couple paid $4,826 or 3,500 euros for the already converted hearse. We didn't do any of the conversion, Orr said. We bought it already converted, so they can't claim anything for that, sadly. All we have added up now is the Halloween figures on the dash, the ducks on the wing mirrors, and the skeletons on the front and back, Orr added. She told SWNS that even though it was a hearse, it drives just like a normal car, though it does stick out of parking spaces. Oh, gosh. That's funny. All right. Well, it is 9:58, so I think at this point we're going to go ahead and wrap up the morning show. So, everybody, thank you for tuning in to the morning show. It is currently clear and 54 degrees. It is going to be sunny for the rest of the day with a high around 70. So, get out there and enjoy the sun. Today, we got some shows for you on WWSU Radio. Coming up next, right after our show at 10 a.m., is the Daily Democracy Now! Podcast. So from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., get your latest national headlines and special guest interviews. From 2 to 3 p.m., we have Parker Testa, The Perspective, a sports talk show. And then finally, from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m., we have the Kadeen Vibe Show.
The Pokemon show.
Yes.
You gotta listen, Ron. It's good.
You gotta listen because he has some really good high energy music and
Oh,
dance
yes.
and funk and Jamaican and everything that you could possibly want to get up and boogie to.
You'll be boogieing in your living room, your dorm, and across campus. So definitely listen. It's awesome.
Yes. So everybody, thank you for tuning in to this edition of the Wright Morning Show. Thank you, Laughing Chipmunk. Thank you, Harmony, for being on the show.
Oh, no. Thank you, as always, Triple P. It's a great day and just in time because here comes my groundskeepers.
So we will be back next week, every Tuesday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on WWSU. We'll see you again on Tuesday, but be sure to stick around on Monday for the Coaches and Coffee Morning Show from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on the station.